I want to give you a little detail on why it's almost certain that Trump's war against Iran is going to turn into a disaster. It really comes down to an essential question. Is this only an air campaign, or is Trump planning on a ground invasion? Now, originally, he and his allies said this was only going to be an air campaign, planes essentially dropping bombs on Iran, missiles being launched at Iran. Here's the problem with that. There is absolutely no evidence that an air campaign alone ever leads to a despotic regime falling, being replaced with a democracy. There's actually no history of that happening, and we've launched plenty of air campaigns against countries all over the world, including in the Middle East. What happens is it just hardens the resolve of the existing government to continue its domestic repressive policies and its provocations overseas, and no democracy emerges. Trump has killed the supreme leader and a handful of the people that surround him, but already what we're hearing is that hardliners are taking control of the government. Okay, but what if he actually does launch a ground invasion? And Trump said today that he's still leaving that option on the table. Well, that's another Iraq war, right? That's an epic disaster. That's not dozens of US troops dying. That's thousands of US troops dying. We didn't win the war in Iraq by any stretch of the imagination. We created an insurgency that we're still dealing with in the region. We didn't win the war in Afghanistan, 20 years of fighting, and we had to withdraw. The very people that we dislodged were back in charge. So if it's an air campaign, no evidence that that will work. The bad people will still be in charge. If it's a ground invasion, well, maybe you can get rid of the bad people, but that's probably thousands, if not tens of thousands of American deaths, and nobody in this country wants that. That's the choice here. That's the reason why many of us, right from the jump, have been fairly certain that this is going to result in a disaster.